Faith for generations. You know, your faith will never die. Your faith will carry on long after you through your children and your children's children. Stay right here. Let's get right into it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm talking about faith for generations. Can you have a legacy of faith? You can. I recently just got back last week from Rhema Bible Training College, where I went, my husband Jay went, where Jay's dad, Pastor Don, went, and now our son is going. And I thought, that's 3 generations of Rhema grads. Why? Because the spirit of faith got on the inside of us. Just like what Paul told Timothy in 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5. It says, like, let me remind you of that precious faith that was in your grandmother Lois, that was in your mother Eunice, is now in you. When you are an example to your children, the prayers that you pray, the life that you live, the model of faith that you're being, it gets inside of them. They want to know God as you know Him. I was reading the other day and had seen a post from one of my family members, Ed Keaton, a cousin of ours, posted about our family and how that my great-grandmother, Ida Mae, that she was born in 1903, and I knew her as being one of the first female evangelist of our area in the 1940s. You know, that was a hard call that she received from the Lord when no one wanted a woman preacher. She went into those coal fields and she started preaching Jesus to them. And you know, they talked about her prayer life in this post, and that my Aunt Loretta said that she would go up, my great-grandmother would go up into the attic, open up each side of the windows, and she began to pray and speak over her children, her children's children, their children, that they would grow and be in the ministry to serve the Lord. And they went on to say they've counted up our family members and who's in ministry today. There's 116 of us serving the Lord, whether it's praise and worship ministry, from youth ministry to pastors to evangelists. They're all in our family. Why? That's a legacy of faith. That your prayers, they're not dying just with you. They're going on to your children and your children's children. When your children see how you respond to stress, how you're quick to forgive, how you put a value and a priority on going to church. My great-grandmother, Thelma Bailey, would say, there's no good reason to miss a Sunday morning. Well, that's carried on in my life. I tell my children that. I tell my church that. There's no good reason. You may have to work, you may be on vacation, but that's not a good reason. If it's Sunday morning, you're in church. That's something we've passed down. So don't ever think that what you're doing for the Lord, how you're praying for your family, that's not accomplishing. No, it's accomplishing much. You're making a transfer of your faith into them. Yes, each child has to call upon the name of the Lord for themselves, but I like what Acts 16 says about how when they told the men, they said, now you call upon the name of the Lord, you'll be saved, and your household shall be saved. We believe we've called upon the name of the Lord, and there's a covering upon our children. Like it tells us in Proverbs, you raise up a child in the way that they should go. When they grow old, they'll not depart. There's a legacy to our faith. It is to bless our children, our children's children. It keeps going. My cousin Stacy will talk about how she spent the night over at our house, and my mom would be in a recliner upstairs with the baby. You know, I'm the oldest of 5, so with either Luke or Faith, she's has the youngest ones, and she's rocking them. And Stacy was telling me, Amy, we would be sleeping, but I'd wake up and I would hear your mom praying throughout the house. We had to split for you. So my mother, Pam, would be praying, and she would be naming every niece, nephew, all of her sister, her brother, her mom, her dad, all of her children, her nieces. You know, Stacy, I heard her praying for me, and she said, those prayers have come to pass. And she said, I'm so thankful when I didn't know anybody was praying for me, that your mom's prayers has covered me, that her faith got on the inside of me. And I love, every time I see Stacy, she tells me that, and I love hearing it. You know, there's a blessing to come upon you when you keep choosing the Lord. It's not for no reason. You're modeling the faith of God. I know when I had my children, Lake and Summer, my greatest responsibility I felt was to connect them to God. That was my legacy. If I could do that, then I was well accomplished as their mother, as my assignment from heaven. And the day I saw them lift their hands and start praising the Lord, I thought, Yes, I did it, Lord. I connected them to you. As long as I know that they can hear from God, they can praise God, that they know God for themselves, then I've done my job. So know that today, as a mother, that your connection to God is going to help your children hear the voice of God. As a father, that your example, that you're redirecting your bloodline to know Jesus today. So don't be discouraged if it doesn't look like they're doing all that God has for them. Just know you've trained them upright. You're being an example. You're leading them in the faith, and your household shall be saved. And that's how you'll stick with the plans He has for you. Thank you for joining me today. I love hearing all that God is doing in your life. And thank you for sharing this. New friends get to watch this because you are sharing this. If you're on YouTube, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell. If you're on Facebook, leave us a comment, like this page. We'll have a brand new video for you next week. And remember, every Tuesday, we are live. I'll see you then.